Alright, going to be installing a Grom Audio MST4 with Bluetooth adapter on a 2006 BMW M5. We're going to start by removing these tabs here, getting a little better access. Just simply pull on this once they're right side up. Simply open these things up here. I'm taking these screws off on both sides. Start with this is behind the CD player once it's out. Comes out this way. So what you want to do is bring it out as much as you can. Reach around your right side and you'll feel the tab on the cable, and just kind of push it in and push it back. Push it in here and push it back. That'll release the CD player. Here's the cable we'll be using for the integration. Here's the MST4 unit and the connectors. This is where the factory cable is going to go. This is the optional USB dongle and microphone. An additional $40 or $50. The kit includes this do-it-yourself plug for those of you that don't have a CD player but do have the CD player ready cable. Most of these cars should have. If not, you have to run the fiber optic cable to your head unit and back and tap in somewhere for your power. Extender cable for the USB plug that comes behind the unit. That's if you want to plug in your phone to charge or to control via the USB. Pretty short cable. Make sure you got the right angle for this. Just simply plug it in. Now for the USB dongle, it has these connectors. This one here is for the optional mic that comes for the USB. I don't think it's required. I rather use the car's Bluetooth and mic for phone calls instead of the Grom unit. So I'm just gonna plug in the USB dongle by itself and see if that works. I don't think it matters which port you use, as long as it's in the extension port. Just gonna go right into extension 1. That should be it for the hardware part. Gonna turn on the car now and the radio and see if I can pick this thing up. Now I just turned my car on and I did get this SOS call system malfunction. I don't know if it has to do with the CD player being removed or the new Grom unit, but the instructions say to go to CD player disc 6, which would be for the Bluetooth. not picking up the CDs. I can't click on CD6. I'm gonna try aux. Gonna scan for the Bluetooth, see if my phone's picking it up. So this is what happens when you don't read the instructions first. According to the install manual, it says that it's likely the factory fiber optic connector has the ground in the wrong place. You have to move it to a different pin position in the factory plug, and that seems to be the issue with mine. I don't know if you can see it here, but the power and ground cables are side by side when they should be across from each other. I had the Grom unit plugged in, and when it did not work, I turned the power off, turned the car off, and when I came here to disconnect it, as I moved the Grom unit around, it was actually sparking while it was making contact with this metal frame here. So just something to look out for. Make sure check the power plug first. It does give you instructions to remove the pin here with like a flathead screwdriver, and then remove the actual pin for the cable and where to place it. So it's pretty clear in the manual here what has to be done. This is what it should look like. This is what it currently looks like, which is wrong. So let me just do that now and give it another try. Hopefully my SOS malfunction goes away, and hopefully I didn't damage anything else. So here we have the power connector out. You simply put a small flathead into this tab here and kind of just pry this outwards towards you. It doesn't slide in or out, it kind of slides in this way. As you can see, pin 2 and pin 1. Pin 2 is the original ground location. It's a 4-pin. It's a 4-pin cable. Pin 2, I believe, has to go one step back to the pin 4 location. So the power and the ground will be kind of across from each other. That's what it calls for in the install manual. Taking the pin out is pretty straightforward. Just simply with your small screwdriver, pinch the pin itself in here in the big slot. Then you can kind of pull it up. It's gonna slide and get stuck again in the second slot there. Pinch it again, then it'll become free. And just move it back to the location the instructions tell you. As you can see, they're across from each other. The power is actually pin 1, and the ground is now in pin 4 instead of pin 2. You can see the 4-pin connector has a little tab on one side. That's a locking tab, so you know which way to put it. So just kind of slide it. Just position it with the tab to the locking tab and just push it in there. It should fit in snug. So the car's back on now after I corrected that issue. The Grom unit stopped sparking. Did not get the SOS malfunction message, which is also a good sign. All CD selections are now highlighted and selectable. I'm gonna go to CD6 function, which should be for the Bluetooth. As you can see, it was playing a Bluetooth track. Since I'm recording from the phone, it actually switches off Bluetooth mode, I guess, because the phone is requesting the audio. My steering wheel controls do work. It changes the track, and volume does work. It's pretty much straightforward now. Once I shut the car on, it comes on automatically. It shows you here. There is a 3-minute window in which you have to pair the Bluetooth. when you first turn the car on with it plugged in, it's gonna say like you know, it's gonna show a random pin, and do you want it to pair? Just select yes. It's not gonna show up on the screen for you to verify the pin. It's just a random pin number that I guess they put in there. I did have to use the Bluetooth reset because I missed the 3-minute window, but once you do that and you scan again with your phone, it should come up. This here
USB,
just it kind of switches from USB to aux, I guess. I guess if you have an extension with the aux cord in, you can switch back and forth between those. I don't have an extension wire with the aux. I don't need it anymore, so I do have my factory radio aux, which I installed and coded myself. But yeah, this is just, I guess, to switch between those.
a UX,
USB streaming, I guess that's if you have a phone on and you want it to it's kind of tricky. It goes it kind of does its own thing, but CD6 is pretty much whatever settings or options you have. USB streaming, I guess, is when you plug in a phone via USB if you wanted to stream the audio from there. The other CDs selections, I think, yeah, automatically goes to CD1 once you're not moving around too much. The other CD selections, I don't know what they do. I think they just like either skip the track or, you know, do other stuff. I'm sure it's in the manual, but since I'm using the Bluetooth, I really don't have to deal with any of that. But it is pretty much flawless. The track information does pop up here if you have your if you have the entertainment window open, but I noticed down here it'll just say CD1, like track 1. It'll just show the numbers, and when I click next, it'll show like CD1 track 2 or something. I guess those commands is what translates to the radio to change the track. But yeah, the track name does not come up here. You have to be in the entertainment window. And when you are playing something via Bluetooth, it will show the track name and the artist name, and then it'll just say previous or next track on it. You can use the iDrive knob to change the track. I only installed the Bluetooth dongle option. I did not install the USB option or the optional auxiliary mic that it brings that connects to the Bluetooth dongle. That's something I do have to test to see if I can still pick up the phone calls and use the car's existing microphone, which I hope does work, because I honestly don't want another wire or another microphone in the car, which is going to be a pain in the ass to route somewhere and mount it. So yeah, that's the Grom MST4 for BMW 2006 M5. Pretty straightforward install. Again, I do recommend you buy the Bluetooth dongle adapter, which is an additional $50 and ultimately was the whole point of this purchase. Now I can just come in the car, it'll pair itself and just stream hands-free, wires-free. Upload an updated video later on, just my impressions after using it for a few days. But overall, I'm satisfied with the purchase, and yeah, we'll see how it does.